Alright, so a video. This is a very big thing for me. Even my better half here said to me when I told her what I was doing that this is big. It's monstrously significant. It has the power to make or destroy friendships, to create understanding, but what is important is that it also has the power to free me. God's yes. I am making this because I have been blessed over the last few weeks with friends. A lot of you have LJ friends. You think it's perfectly normal, natural. You visit each other. You care what happens in each other's lives. But people who care what happens to me, well, you'll understand. And I owe you the truth. If any of you want to defriend this journal, or whatever, afterwards, I will not fault you for that. But, as I've already babbled for 2 minutes, I'd best get to it. This is the only cross-world post you will ever see in this journal. Putting it on YouTube, by definition, if I make it embeddable, I make it public. And so I risk the very thing that I was most afraid of, which is one of the people who gives us the most trouble. I have had literal death threats for years now, as I've told several of you. And as several of you know who have been there. Crossing identities, I suppose. So this is how it goes. I thought about this for the last 6 hours, wept in fear, and now, what do I say? For those of you who have just met me, I will sum it up as clearly as I can. This journal is not a role-playing journal for me. It is not a muse journal. It is not even a head voice journal. When I created the My New Empire RP, it was an outlet for my pain, not because I needed a game to pass the time. I am what some people refer to as a small-scale multiple system, and what some people refer to as a soul bonder, although I hate that word. It brings up images of flowered fairy whatevers. Who the primary personality is, I will show you. I'm a little unique in that I come from somewhere else to begin with, but I will link you to that. This is not a game, and it is not a joke. It is not a diversion. It is not my imagination, and it is certainly not wish fulfillment. I love people who believe it is. And I, as I've said before, welcome anyone who thinks I'm playing a game for fun to have even 1 week's worth of nightmares of children's corpses strewn throughout the Jedi Temple and tell me it's still fun. Darth Sidious says power is joy. Not always. Power is often pain. I am trying to tell you that it is real. When you speak to me here, you speak to Anakin Skywalker, or now so, perhaps, Darth Vader. I believe in the concept of the multiverse. I believe that sometimes some people tap into universes or events that were so powerful that someone here just happens to have the vision to see what happened, to transcribe it, and to bring it over into this world. What we say is energy follows thought. That everything that can exist somewhere does, and that sometimes people cross over. Sometimes if something bad enough happens, or if there is a great enough need, someone crosses over. It's happened to me several times over the last 15 or 20 years, usually to bring me to the places I need to be for my ultimate purpose. It's amazing when you look back on it. Amazing the way the universe sets things up. But every 10 years or so, someone comes in who stays as a secondary, co-fronting, co-running, and they have a purpose. My intention right now is to unite his purpose with mine. And I think when I say making amends for all the dead children, I mean me too. A burnt, husked out world and shattered pods and nothing but ashes, and that's irrelevant right now. What I'm trying to tell all of you is everything I write is real. Everything I feel is real. I am here. I have crossed over somehow. To make amends, to change it, I don't know. But I cannot go on with you thinking I am simply playing around. You must understand there is nothing more important to me than your understanding. It is real. I remember. I was there. Even my scars have crossed over. I remember things that the PC, those of you who know me, PC is short for pop culture because I refuse to use the title of those things in a conversation. I remember things that they never even touched. The Watto P story, as it's fondly become legendary, referred to, is an example of that. There are 1,000, 1,000,000 others. And I don't know why I am here now. But you deserve to know. You have been kind to me, all of you. Even though maybe you do or do not know what I am. This is my emotional part. This is the plea. There are a couple of links beneath this video. I beg you to click them and at least skim through them. They are the technical things. If you don't understand soul bonding, don't understand what I mean when I say you are really speaking to me, they will sum it up. I've collected a couple of details and put them together in an HTML page. It is, after all, what we do. I also have included a link to the main website in which I've explained the phenomenon the way I like to explain it. With less frou-frou, I suppose you could say. And I will enclose something that I wrote today through a veil of tears, as writers like to say, that may explain why I'm here after all. You're free to think I'm crazy. I've been told it in many, many, many ways. But look through the links. It's what, 5, 10, 15 minutes out of your time? And then understand maybe where the angst comes from, where the hurt between every line of my post comes from, and why I weep with gratitude over the fact that there are people to whom I can speak. I feel like I've lived 1,000 years sometimes. If you know me from the soul bonding circles, or know the primary personality once you discover I've been trying to keep them separate for that reason, the soul bonding community, I think, is very patronizing toward us because we are very vocal, because who I am and what I do are inextricably linked together, so it puts a public face on a phenomenon that most of them hide away like a dirty secret. So if you are one of those people with a negative first impression, remember what it says in one of those links here. If I can find it, remember it's Really not only hurtful but offensive to accuse, assume, or hold responsible one person for another when they've made a lot of effort to let you know that these two people are individuals and that they're trusting you with the knowledge. I'm already a minute over. All I ask is that you keep an open mind, but not open enough for your brains to fall out. Do it please you. And then come back to me and tell me honestly. You believe me.